Chebe is an ancient African secret taking the world by storm. If you're new to my channel, then you probably never heard about me talk about it before, but if you're an OG here to my channel, you know that I've been talking about Chebe for years, and it's something that I never really wanted to provide, but you talked me into it. Originating from Chad, Africa, Chebe is a mixture of herbs. A mixture of herbs and seeds. To learn more, make sure you go watch the other videos linked in the description box below, but let's hop straight into what Chebe actually is. While each recipe is going to vary, right? This is the most traditional blend and the one that I use within the apothecary. The base ingredient, these are rich in fatty acids and antioxidants that help the hair shaft with the moisture retention. Next up are cherry kernels. This adds different emulsion properties as well as a scent. Also, it has cloves, which provides an antimicrobial benefit, which adds antimicrobial and antioxidant benefits. It also has this resin, which is a natural gum. This is the additive that is used to bind or combine, mix up this mixture. And this next stone is like a perfume. It has natural aromatic minerals, and this helps to enhance the scent while preserving the mixture itself. So what are the key benefits? The number one benefit is going to be its ability to help you retain moisture. Now, so many people are confused. Whenever you see somebody's hair that's super duper shiny, you're like, oh, their hair is moisturized. No, it's not. It's shiny. To moisturize something is to create a barrier. So this is not to make your hair shiny, it's to create a barrier over the hair shaft that aids you in retaining length. This is not supposed to go anywhere near the scalp, which we'll get to in a second. So this is not a product that grows hair. It helps you to retain length, which gives you the illusion that you're growing hair, especially if you are a person who does not normally retain length. But I digress, let's keep going. It also has strengthening qualities. A lot of the different additives also aid your hair at being protected, and if your hair is protected and is less strong, is less prone to breakage and wear and tear from your practices, like if you were to get braids or weave or anything like that, it really creates at that barrier. Again, to moisturize is to create a barrier. And length retention, because by preventing breakage and by strengthening the hair shaft, you naturally retain length because your hair is not breaking off. A lot of times when you see a lot of different videos on YouTube, you see women combing and brushing their hair and having globs of hair in the brush. When they finish, well, they're the ones that are making length retention a lot harder. And even if you have length, is see-through length. Now, traditionally, Chebe is not supposed to be added to the scalp because of the resins and some of the seeds. They're thicker, they can clog the follicles and the pores. However, there are certain tribes that look at a thinning hairline and balding edges as like a state of prominence, right? Or like as some type of I'll put the word here, I can't get it out right now, right? So culturally is looked at as like a badge of honor to have thinning edges or a hairline that's pushed back. So sometimes they did put it on the scalp, blocking the follicles on purpose, and also putting really tight skinny braids here, but a looser braid in the back, so the hair would be really long but the edges will have high tension, really thin on purpose. Unless that's what you want to do culturally, I would avoid the scalp, because this is not meant, especially you're listening to the properties, is not meant to grow hair, just retain length. So what are the benefits for braiding your hair? This key constituent within Chebe is amazing. This supports the hair shaft's resilience for daily friction and braiding and different things like that. flavonoids and tannins act as like security, really acting as antioxidants, protecting the hair's cuticle against oxidative stress, which is going to widely reduce breakage. Remember, I told you to moisturize is to create a barrier. So Chebe creates a moisturized barrier over the hair shaft. It's like a moisture locking shield. This is preventing dehydration in long-term styles like braids or weaves. If done and used properly, it is absolutely amazing for length retention during your different hairstyles. But I need you to remember that when we're talking about braids and weaves and things of that nature, that's for healthy hair. But you don't want to have damaged hair that's already broken and put some Chebe on it and think that it's gonna heal up. It don't work like that. Now, whenever you have braids or like a sew-in or anything where anything's wrapped around the hair shaft, or just braids in general, this is amazing. It reduces strand friction inside of the braids around the thread. This leads to fewer snaps and less breakage during the takedown process, because a lot of times the majority of your breakage and lack of length retention happens during the takedown process. So if that portion is eliminated. So now that we've broken down what Chebe is, let's hop into the computer so we can let nerdy, like a nerdy cartoon scene, break down the other key constituents within simple Chebe. I love you guys so much.
So I am always so excited to talk about herbs with you guys, and Chebe is something that I've talked about here on my channel for years. I'll leave all of the video links in the description box below, but I need you to understand that this is not a hair growth product. Most people look at different oils and butters and things of that nature and they're like, oh my god, this will grow your hair fast. I'm not going to play with you like that. This is not going to grow your hair, but it will make your hair stronger, so you will retain the length that you're growing. Because the truth of the matter is, babe, everybody's growing hair, but most of us cannot hold on to the hair that we're growing out. Think about it like this. You know, remember the relaxer days? If you're no longer getting a relaxer, or if you still get relaxers, when it's time to get a touch up, you know for a fact your hair grew because you have new hair that isn't relaxed. But even though you have a couple of inches of new growth, your hair is either the same length or shorter than it was before you got that relaxer. Why is that? That's not because your hair isn't growing, because we've already proven with your roots that are not chemically processed that you have new hair and your hair is growing, but you're not able to retain length. So what I want you to do is make sure you head over to my blog post so you can see the herbal complex that is infused. Yes, there is Chebe powder with this Chebe butter, but that's not it. This Chebe butter has Breakage, lavender, and clove, all infused into moringa oil. That is the carrier of the key constituents of all three of those herbs. I have videos on all three herbs, so make sure you check the playlist left in the description box below. And in that playlist, I break down all of the herbs within the apothecary, their key constituents, and all of the things that they do. Now, the main reason that Chebe does not go on the scalp is because some of the additives can block the pores and the follicles, but shea butter itself doesn't block the pores immediately, but if you constantly put it on the scalp, it will create different microfloral influxions, which is going to cause your scalp's bacteria to overpopulate. And we've talked about that in the past, why I don't recommend leaving oil on the scalp. But the second thing that this Chebe butter can be used for is an exfoliation treatment. So you will use a very, very small amount each time, no more than about a nickel size, and you will put that on the scalp and use some type of scalp scrubber. And then once you use that scalp scrubber, you go ahead and do it very gently, very, very gently. Actually scratch that. Don't use the scalp scrubber, use your hands because y'all too rough. After you apply it to the scalp, you can use the balls of your fingers to massage it in. The particles within the Chebe, they act as an exfoliant, right? And then the extract that is within this blend, along with its cedarwood and lemongrass, what it will do is it will begin to help you break down all of the properties and all of the yeast and bacteria that is on the scalp, and it will help you to reset that skin cell turnover cycle. You will massage it into the scalp, right? And then you'll sit under the dryer for no longer than 15 minutes. After that 15 minutes is up, you are going to get a scalp scrub and use that at least twice on the scalp, following up with a clarifying shampoo, and then a moisturizing shampoo and a conditioner. This is one of the days that you do a conditioning treatment. I leave a link to all of my favorite product recommendations in the description box below. And you guys, that is how you use Chebe butter. Now, if you decide to use it as a grease and put it on the scalp, whatever happens is on you. That is not my recommendation in any way, shape, or form. I told you the two ways that you can use this butter. You either put it from mid shafts to ends right before you braid your hair or do a protective style, mid shaft to ends, and then you can use it on the ends, just the ends, after you braid your hair before you finish your protective style. And remember, your protective styles are not left in any longer than 10 weeks. All right, I really hope this makes sense. For more information on the rest of the key constituents, check out my blog. It is left in the pinned comment. All right. Oh, thank you.
So, did you like that version of me? Did you like that little portion? Let me know in the comments below. But if you want to get your hands on Cynply Chebe, then make sure you check the links in the description box below so you can get your hands on it while it's still here, right? Originally, this was created for Guru members, but I made a really big batch. So we just put it out there, and so far so good. So make sure you get your hands on it, because this is the first time I'm putting it on YouTube, but over on my website we're almost sold out. So get your hands on it while you can, because if this sells out, I have to do an infusion process that'll take me about a week. So get your hands on it while you can. I love you guys so much, and for more information, make sure you slide into the apothecary. I love you. Bye.